Welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Dion. This is not chapstick. This is City Beauty City Lips Lost Angel Lips. And I've been using this as lip balm to see if I really like it. There is one liquid lipstick I don't like this over, well, underneath, because of what it does to the formula. So I'm going to try it again today with another gloss on top of it. It is a plumper. It's not uncomfortable. It doesn't burn. And I do like it for, what am I trying to say? I do like it as a primer, and it does moisturize. And so that's why I'm continuing to use it to see what I like it best for. And on its own, it looks okay too. So we're going to prime the eye and get into a look. I mentioned that we were going to use this palette again, this BYOP. I call it the Pink Purple Flower palette, because I'm not really feeling it because of the lighter tones. And so I had said, I think it was my roundup video, I said I'm going to make it a point to use it again in June. I just used it in May because I want to get a feel for it. These 6 shades right here, these are from the Wildflower palette. These shades are from a mystery bag, and these are the ones I don't gravitate to. This one, yes. These I don't really gravitate to. And I have a similar shade as to this, almost identical in 2 other Lethal palettes. And so we're going to be using these shades, not all of them, but we're going to stay away from Wildflower because I already know that I really do like those Wildflower, these 6. I got mixed up about this one, but yeah, so that one I have, that bright shimmer, that bright silver I have in my 3 other palettes. So we're going to prime the lid and do the intro. We're going to be using Hourglass brushes today. The number 3s for lid, the number 6 for this area up here, and this is a domed something brush. It's the number 6, and we're going to just use this to blow out our lower lash line. I turned my thermostat down on because silly me is hot and I have on a long sleeve shirt, and so turning the thermostat down, the vent keeps blowing, the AC keeps blowing, and my eyes keep tearing. But we're just going to keep on rolling. So hello again and welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Dion. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. The crazy, just knowing it's okay to be your authentic self, not feeling like you need to be like someone else or impersonate someone else or emulate someone else. Just let your own personality shine through, not only in videos, but in your day-to-day life. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a certain tool or a certain technique. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even without face paint on. That's what we stand for here, just knowing that you rock. I hope that that resonates with you, knowing it's okay to be your authentic self and wearing whatever you want to wear and just rocking it. I do need to let you know 2 things if you are new here. I do curse in videos because I curse sometimes, period. And there's an organism that lives in my throat that randomly makes an appearance through hiccups, gurgles, and belches. And I do always say, excuse me, whether I think you heard it or not. So that is what we stand for. Those are the 2 additional tidbits that you need to know. I'm excited to use this, kind of, sort of, but not really. I do believe I like the look, but it'll be a look I don't gravitate to because of the lighter tones. And so therein lies the rub. And I was looking at the other palette that has lighter shades in it. We're going to use that one after this one in this same video. So that means I need to hurry up. So this part isn't too long. And I may mix the palettes up. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that. So for right now, I am going to take, I have my paper here, label hoard me. Hi, how are you? This shade is Willow. We're going to put this on the outer corner. So we're going to be working outward, inward today, dark to light. And this isn't super dark. Yes, but this is pretty. I did look back at the pictures in my gallery that I did with this palette, and the looks are really pretty. And y'all know I really like Lethal shadows, and they just really work for me. I just prefer the darker tones, and even with their multi-chromes and dual chromes, I prefer the darker tones. And so, but even the lighter looks, when I do them, I do like them. I just don't do them often. and I want to use what I have. And so that's what has me thinking, like, what am I going to do with these shadows? Because if I mix them up and I just have everything in here that I like, that's going to leave a palette of shadows that I like, but I don't gravitate to. And so then I would have to figure out what to do with those. And sometimes I do think of people to say, hey, would you like to have this? Like people that I'm close to, not just random people, or I will put it in my Macari store. So hearing me say I might not keep something, I don't just randomly just give stuff away. So anyway, yeah, that thought came up because there was a small situation. I didn't mean to take this up that high, I say, as I keep tapping it up here, because I have a shade that I was going to put for my brow bone. But yeah, we're just, yeah, this brush, it's going to do what it do. My eyes are tearing. Now we're going to take, and of course I don't know how this is going to look, because I don't remember if this shows up green or if it does show up more pale-ish. And so we're going to take this on the center of the lid. Now most people would swatch it first to see, but y'all know I don't swatch shades before I use them. We just put them on and just hope for the best. So we're going to take this and put this on the center of the lid. So it's going to be a very light look. And we're going to put this on the inner portion of the lid. So right now we're taking this shade, which is Equinox. I do really like this shade. That shade, the name of it reminded me that I do really like it. This would be a nice, oh, this is a pretty, put this all over the lid and just leave this outer corner. This is a pretty look. And lethal shadows are so easy to work with, and they show up. Like you see this. So we're blending, we're going back and forth where the two shades meet, and it doesn't look like it's blending. So we're going to put more on the brush of Equinox, and we're going to start over the brown, over Willow, and pull this way to try to get it to look like it's blended, but it's not. It's layering very well, but it's not really blended. This is so funny to me. So yeah, it just looks like we took it further out, which we did, but it's not. It's not blending. This is hilarious to me if you cannot tell. So we're going to go back with Willow and just put some more on the outer corner just to try to blend it. That is so funny to me. Your lethal shadows, y'all. Oh my gosh. Let me know what lethal you have. And I know some are waiting or may have received by now. Now this side blended. You see that? So why this side didn't do that? Maybe because I started here first, where this side I started here and pulled over. Maybe that's what it is. So let's do that. Let's pick up more on the brush, tap off, start on the gold, and pull over. Okay. Okay, that did it. I'm like, why did this side? I was like, what's happening? So we are going to go back with Willow still and put some more of that back. So let's take that first brush, tap into Willow, tap off, and we're going to just feather inward. This is a very pretty, very easy look. What was I talking about? Like, I don't know what to do with these shades. Well, not what to do with them as far as a look, but using them more. And this is what I was saying in that video. Sometimes I'm kind of like, but then when I use it, I'm like, this is really nice. So I just be having one of my moments. This is super pretty and super freaking easy. This can be your look. The brown eyeliner up top, leave lower lash line like it is, which by the way is a purple, deep purple from NYX retractable eyeliner. This eye is tearing. Actually, both of them are. That reminds me to pull out a liner for upper lash line. So this is going to just blend in if I use that one. And I do have a purple. Do we want to be sensible and just use a brown? Like just a regular, basic, boring brown? Probably. So now we're going to take this shade here, which is Plit Vice, and we're going to see what that's going to look like. This I was going to put under brow bone. Maybe we still will because it's not a bright shade on me. And you see this is marbled. And so I'm just swiping all kind of ways. Ooh. Excuse me. And we're going to pat that right there. And then we're going to pat that right there because it was a lot on the brush. So now we're going to pat here and then here. And then we're going to sweep it over. This is pretty. Oh my gosh. This is me being obnoxious. And I'm thinking about my friend who I was saying it would just be like, and that's how you know that they're feeling it with me. I'm like, ooh. and it's really because I'm surprised. Like, because I remember saying I didn't know how that was going to look next to this one. But this is pretty. This is like super pretty. So now I'm thinking to take a green, either this green or Fortune, which shows up almost black. Fortune is from Melt Cosmetics. This one is Inglot. Maybe we'll do one each side and see what happens. I didn't even pull out any eyeliner brushes, so let me do that really super quick. Yeah, we're gonna do one on each eye just to see. So what next? This is really pretty. I am surprised. We are still going to take this shade. This shade is Relapse. This is a repeat because I ordered 2 mystery bags and it came in both the mystery bags. And so the other one is just sitting in a 6-pan palette, that and one other shade because I had no other place to put it. And I didn't realize I had it before I opened it and swatched it. And I'm just like, ugh. So I couldn't even give it away new. So that is this shade, and it did what I thought. It's there, but it's not there. And it can go deeper, but we're going lightly because we're under the brow. So we don't want to do a lot up here. So that's all we're going to do for that. And for lower lash line, so we used all 4 at the top. So the other 2 from the mystery bag is this one, which is Hella Bright, and this one. We're going to take this one, and I do know this is not the right brush for this. So we're going to put that brush down. No, you know what? Let's just do it. And it's wet over here in the corners because this is going to blow it out. It's okay. And we may put this inner, like right here. So let me take out another one of these hourglass brushes. So we're going to go into this, which is Mainframe, and we're just tapping straight in and pressing. Tapping off. Oh, my word. Oh, and we're going to just tap at first, and then we're going to sweep. This is nice over that purple. Okay. Oh, that's nice. So it just kind of lightened it a little bit, and you can still see the depth of the purple on the lower lash line, and then you see the pink beneath it. That's nice. I look a little sick, but I like it because that's kind of like a grunge vibe. So we're tapping first because it's wet and I don't want to deposit too much color in one place. So that's why we're tapping first. If it was dry under here, I just would have went for it. And so yeah, it's really wet like right here. So I am lightly sweeping. Can you see? I noticed it's been looking darker in my videos again. Like sometimes it looks really bright and sometimes it's dark. And I'm like, what is happening? But you know what? I don't have that little ring light up there. I realize it's only good for like an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and 20, and then it just cuts off. So I need to make sure to fully charge it before my live streams. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I got used to that brightness. Oh, this is a size Sky, y'all, for blush, House Labs. And for highlighter, we use Chocolate Opal very lightly. And I'm really digging it in House Labs bronzers, of course. And we're going to take Overdrive. This is bright as hell. That's going to be, this brush is way too big for that because that shade. We're going to take a little tiny brush. This is an Esom V09. And so we're going to just lightly, because this shade, y'all. And we're just going to put that right there. And that's wet too. And this is all we're going to do with this one. It is wet right here. So we're tapping in, tapping off. And this is what we're going to do with that. So we're going to tap in again. We'll swipe in. This is wet right here. This is a pretty ass look. So we used 6 shades, these 4 and that one. So I think I just need to be in the mindset to just do, you're going to hear a clank putting brushes away. I think I just need to be in the mindset to just do, what am I trying to say? This is Fortune The shade is Fortune. This is Melt Cosmetics. I think I just need to be in the mood to do a light ethereal look. This is hella pretty. This is hella freaking pretty. And I didn't know about that green on the inside of that yellow, that green on the inner corner. But because it's marbled, this is what it came out to be. So this is Fortune we're going to put over here. And we're going to put the Inglot one on the other side. The Inglot one is brighter. This is more noticeable as green. This looks nice over this. I need to stop making it so wide, this area right here, because then it looks like it's a hump. I do prefer a thin line, but for some reason, when I go over my mobile lid, I'm not as close as I could be to my upper lash line. And that's why it always ends up thicker up there. So we're going to finish this up, and we're going to go ahead and do the wing since we're using a different liner on the other side. And we're going to do a small one. It is wet over here. And just a little tiny wing. That's all we're going to do for that. So we're going to close this up. So I guess I can put that brown one away since we're not using the brown. And this is Inglot. So just to show you the difference between the two. This is Fortune from Melt Cosmetics. This is Inglot. And Inglot doesn't have name. It has numbers. This is number 86. And I got it from Amazon, which they're cheaper on Amazon than the Inglot website. Inglot website, I think they're $20-something. Amazon, depending on the color, they range from $13 to maybe $18. And you can also get free shipping from Amazon. I don't know if Inglot offers free shipping. So do they look much different? Yeah, this one is darker. This is more noticeable that it's green, which I already knew that. But I just wanted to see. I did miss Fortune when I didn't have it, and so I repurchased it. I missed the red Inglot one when I didn't have it, and I repurchased that. Some of my other gel liners, you know, the brown, the gray, I might not repurchase. So you can tell, but is it noticeable? I think it is noticeable for people who are detail oriented, because if you just glance at things, it's just like, We're going to put on the Queen Muzia again. This, I really don't know. I want to say either it has made my lashes longer, or it curls them, because I get, the longer I've used this, or the formula is just getting more wet. The more I use it, the more transfer I get up here in this area. And also when I apply it on lower lash line, I've been getting a lot of transfer down there. And so I don't know what it is. And I talked about it in a video. I don't know. I think you'll see that one before this one. I'm not sure. But I was like, whatever's happening, I don't like it, because I'm not used to having mascara transfer. And I just don't like it. And it doesn't do that with any other mascara, unless it's a really wet mascara. But with the first few times I used this, it didn't transfer. But the more I use it, I'm getting more and more transfer. So that's why I'm like, okay, are my lashes really getting longer? And or is it curling my lashes? And that's why it's transferring up here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't wear false lashes. That's just extra stuff. And even though, you know, like I say, enhance your natural features, if you want to, I've just never had a desire to use false lashes. And maybe it's because most of the ones I see, I can tell that they're false lashes. And I'm like, okay. Sometimes they look nice, and sometimes I don't like how they look. So I've never been enticed to try it because of... Now this side always looks really nice though. But once I start doing down here, the transfer is going to happen because my lashes are touching this area up here. And you may not see it already, but I already see that it did transfer some over here, because I see black dots up there, and I don't like that. And so what I could do is just go back with the brush I use for that eyeshadow color and just tap that there. And that has worked before, but that's just another step to do. And yeah, so my lashes over here look really nice. I think these lashes over here up top are just longer than the ones on the other side. And it's just ironic to me. I've never noticed it until I started using this mascara. And so this has a lot of transfer. Surprisingly, even though these lashes look longer over here, this side has way more transfer, and it's annoying. And I even have, you know, it's like flaking off down here, which I don't remember it flaking before. Or is that a mole? Let me see. And so I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah, this is mascara. So maybe I've had it enough. We're going to take that gold shade, Equinox, and we're just going to tap it over top of, yeah, so it cleans it up really nicely. But I don't want to always have to do this. And we're going to take the brush that had Plitvice, that green, and we're going to pick some of that up on the brush so we can swipe here to get rid of those little black marks. So I really don't know. This is the brush with the gold. So I really don't know if my lashes are getting longer or if it's getting more wet, because it seems like it's more wet and it's starting to flake more. And I have been using it since I opened it, and I opened it April 14th. And there is some transfer over here a little bit too. So we're just cleaning up. And y'all know what? Y'all know I don't like to do a whole bunch of extra stuff. But the look is bomb. We're going to put on Nema Tang Dose of Colors lip gloss over top of the City Lips. I'm still just really trying to see if I like this. As a lipstick primer or lip gloss primer. If it was a darker shade like this, I would definitely be like, yeah, for me. The pink shade, and I think it's described as gold something with pink shimmers on their website. I do have a link below. They did send that to me in PR. And so I do like it. And if I wanted something simple and not to do another, put another lippy on top of it, that would work for that. I do not like it under the Sephora cream lip stain liquid lipsticks. These ones, I do not like what it did to the lipstick. And so I said I'll just try it over another gloss. I don't think I've tried it under my MAC one. This one, I don't think I've tried it under that. And I definitely don't need it under, who was she? House Labs. So I'm just trying to figure it out. And I could just put another gloss on top of it, something like one of these or one of these or one of the Fenty glosses or something. So I'm just trying to figure out how I best like it, because I do like it to keep using it. It's just, is it going to fit into my normal makeup routine type thing? So this is the finished look. This is what we have. Let's go. I'm going to hold this up for the screenshot. This will probably be the screenshot for both of the looks, this one and the other palette that we're going to use. There we go. So thank you for that. Let me know what you think of this look. Like, I'm glad that we did this, because now I'm thinking just leave it like it is, because this is a very easy, very pretty look. Very simple. The eyeliner, now that they both have dried down, it's not much different. And so now I'm thinking, like, do I still just keep both of them? Well, I should say repurchase either one. This one definitely still is a little more green. It's a little more bold green. I'm looking at the wings. You can definitely see it's green, where this one, even though it's shorter, it is darker. And so my question would be, would I repurchase it? It would be easier and cheaper to repurchase the Inglot off of Amazon. Price-wise, it's about the same. It's a few dollars cheaper for Inglot, but then with the Melt, you know, wait for a sale, but then you have to pay for shipping or whatever dollar amount you need, whereas for Amazon free shipping, you only need to spend $35. And so it's sounding like Inglot. These do dry out in about a year though, about 9 months or so. These do dry out, that's the only thing. The Melt one, how long has I had that? I've had this one since March this year. We're going to go, because we're coming back, we're going to do another look, and let me know what you think of these mystery bag shades. These are the mystery bag shades, and we used all 5 of them, and I am digging this look. So this is going to be a keeper, so I'm really glad I did this. I really don't think I'm even going to mix it up with other stuff. I just know if I want to do a light, quick, ethereal look, very easy, it's going to work. And for me, lethal just works, and it's quick and easy anyway. Not a lot of mess, hardly any fallout. I don't see any. You may see some. I see a few flakes, but nothing really crazy. And I have transfer again with this mascara up here, so I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, we're gonna go. Thank you. Hang tight. You'll see me for another look with another lethal palette. Hey, thank you for staying. Okay, Night Flower. Everything on the face is done. Eyes are primed, and I'm looking at this palette, and I looked back on the looks I did, and they were primarily purple. This is a lot of purples in here, and even the blues lean purple, the pinks lean purple. And so what, I'm trying to get the glare off. So I think we're going to stay here, maybe, and maybe this one, just to do something different. The other looks were very purple. So I'm like, what can we do that's different? And this is a matte shade, and it's looking more tan in person. And so we're going to do here. This is a metallic. So that shade is Aurora. I do remember using that shade though. This is a beautiful palette though. And in person, it is a little bit deeper. But the looks I've done with it have all been just really monochromatic looking-ish. And so let's just go ahead and put this on. Because I do want to get variety out of here. And I know I can. It's just doing things differently than I normally do. Down here, this is looking green where I'm looking now. And then when I look up here, it looks like how it does in the pan. So that's kind of freaking me out. Because I don't think it's a dual chrome or a multi-chrome. It does look more blue as I pull it over. Like right here, you see the blue on the outer edge. So maybe it is. I don't know. But then when I don't pull, it just looks that one shade. This is a very interesting shade. And I do really like this shade. So what I was thinking after looking at yesterday's look, and looking at the palette and looking back on the looks I had previously done with the palette that I used in yesterday's look, I'm gonna leave that palette the way it is, because me doing what I did yesterday, it showed me something different. And so then I started thinking maybe of mixing this one with Teresa is Lethal. So I'm gonna hold that one up against this one at the end unless I forget, and just figure out what we're gonna do. Because some of the tones in Teresa's Lethal are similar to other tones I have in other palettes, particularly that TV Dinner, that really shiny one, and some of the mid-tones, like these type shades. And again, this is more tan in person. And so I was looking at it like, what shades can I do without in that palette? And also for this one, because it is so purple leaning, you know what I mean? And I have other purple palettes. And I have Leela from Natasha Denona, which is... it looks purplish, but you can do other stuff with it just depending on where you place your shadows. And so actually, I'm gonna pull that out right now because I'm gonna hold that up later. But it is different than this one, but the vibe though. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out. I made my first purchase for June. I made a purchase today. Today is June 2nd. Ulta had another point multiplier. And it said 250 points if you spend 50 or more. And I spent $51 and I earned 326 points. And I think it's because I'm, whatever the highest tier is, which I think is platinum. And so we do earn extra points. And so every time it says, you know, 10 times points or 50 times the points, I always earn like extra, which is amazing because the points, this is nice. And it blends out on its own. Look at that. So I'm still seeing green down here. Like this is a dual chrome. Wow. So now we're going to take this shade down here. And it's looking dark. Let me see something. So let's see. Not much different than with the light. This is Wisteria, this shade here. We're going to put this on the outer corner. These are Hourglass number 3 brushes. And so yeah, I made a purchase. I made sure to activate Rakuten, which was 4% cash back. Plus, there was a free gift with purchase. And the brand, they do really good free gifts with purchases. And it's a product that I had wanted to try and I was just waiting because it is going to dupe something I already have, but it would be a less expensive alternative. And I don't think I've tried that formula before for that particular item. I know I'm being cryptic, I know. But we're gonna do a try on video. No, not, are we? I don't know. because there's something else I want to order already, and I feel like a troll clown for real. And yeah, and I've been looking at the Crow palette, which is gray base and it has some reds in it, and so I was thinking, this is pretty, my gosh, and this is a matte shade. This is gorgeous. I was wondering how this was going to look next to this one, but look how that, and then shine, these lethal shades. We're going to take this shade up here. This shade is Moonbeam, so we're just going to tap straight in, and we're going to tap that up here. So I was looking at the color story of Crow from Wicked, I think it's Wicked Cosmetics, Wicked Makeup something, and I saw it on Heather's channel, Brooklyn Queen in LA, and I'll link her down below. And it's on like a 4-month pre-order. Well, it says 4 to 12 weeks, but and it's $60. And so I was looking at the color story, that just made everything just blend into dust, which I don't really like how that's looking. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this brush. This might make it too bright. Excuse me. This is, oh, I see kind of golden orange. We're gonna just put a little bit right up here, because this whole thing to me now is just looking dusty from that matte shade. I have Martine Cosmetics 669, which is a dark palette, and I have a red palette coming. There was a situation, so I'm just waiting to see the resolution. And I have Xenon palette, so I'm thinking I kind of have these colors. The only colors I don't have are like the bright reds that are in that palette, but then I do have reds in other palettes too, so like I really don't need it. And so like how I talked myself out of the Lethal Avatar palettes, I could talk myself out of this one. See, this is looking pinky right here, but it would be a new brand for me, a new formula for me, and the ingredients read as if they are pressed, excuse me, like they're eyeshadows, and the ingredient list is very simple, very straightforward. But I emailed the brand anyway, and I also contacted them through their website page. And so we'll see, because I'm thinking if it really is just eyeshadows, I might just bite the bullet and get it, but it's $60. But it's a beautiful palette. And so I do feel like a clown because I can most likely dupe it. Now we're going to take this shade right here. This shade is Dahlia, and we're going to put this on our lower lash line for no particular reason other than just to put it on our lower lash line. And we have a black under here. It's actually Glide or Die from Matte Cosmetics, Matte Connect, no, not Connecting Color, Matte Color Excess, and the shade is Glide or Die. So that's what we have under here and on our upper and lower inner rims. And so this is what this is looking like. It just puffed up into my eye when I went like this. So yeah, do it again, so it'll do it again. I like how it gives like that smoky sick look when I put a light matte down here over top of a dark liner. I just like that look. It's like yeah, like I'm sick. So it's kind of like grungy. And so I like that look. So yeah, so we're going to see. And if I do that, I would have to do like I do with Selling Cosmetics. Just order it, and every 4th week put a note in my calendar just to remind myself of when I ordered it and maybe when it should be here. Very simple, very easy foreshadow look. First half of the lid, second half of the lid, brow bone, and then we put this directly under our eyebrows just to kind of break that up a little bit, which I'm not sure it did, and we put this on lower lash line. So this is a different look for this palette, and I'm thinking like, could I have done this with something else I have? And I probably could. Once you get to a certain place, we're going to take Lethal. I didn't do this on purpose, I really didn't. This is Phase. I didn't take a Lethal eyeliner on purpose using Lethal shadows, and we're going to take a MAC 210 brush. I think I could do something similar as this look, but Lethal shadows really don't dupe themselves, because even this one not looking like it's a dual chrome, I'm still seeing green down here and a little bit of blue, and up here when you turn there's like a very slight shift to it. And so in that sense, I wouldn't be able to dupe it with what I have in my current stash. But I'm still, it's just all those purples. I'm just like, I don't want a purple palette, says me who is contemplating getting a monochromatic palette, which colors don't show up on me. Yes, I'm really just a troll clown. I like how I resolved 2 days before Lethal launched I wasn't gonna get anything. I pretty much feel like I'm resolved that I'm gonna get this particular palette that's monochromatic and the shades don't show up on me. So I'm just like, what, why? And I do know I can pair it with another palette from that brand, but I don't want to have to pair a palette, you know, to get looks out of it. You know what I'm saying? Well, looks that'll show up on me. And so this side came out straight. This has the accidental swoosh. So I'm just kind of like, stop talking so much and maybe you'll get it straight. I'm trying to make it look straight and that ain't helping. Yeah. So this is what we have for this look. Excuse me, and it's further out. I browned ground beef yesterday and dumped some sauce into it. Here's a question, a food question. If you don't make your own pasta sauce, and I know some people do, you know, crushed tomatoes and, you know, whatever else. If you use a jar of sauce, do you still add your own seasonings? I love seasonings. I love spice. I season the heck out of ground turkey and ground beef with Penzies, of course. And once I put the jar of sauce into it, I also add more seasonings. Like I be doing all of that. And Queen Luzia, I think I'm done with this, to be honest with you. So do you add extra seasonings to whatever jar of sauce or canned sauce that you use for your pasta? So that's the question. Yeah, I just dump a whole bunch of stuff in there, and I do, you know, taste here and there and be like, ooh. And so for me, when I make, when I season sauce, and even when I make chili, it never tastes the same because I don't measure seasonings. I just dump stuff in and taste along the way. And so like the basic ingredients I can tell you, like for chili, but as far as, you know, measurements for seasonings, I'm not able to do that because I just dump stuff in. And I always love it. One time it surprised me that I made chili and I caught myself making it spicy, and it turned out that it wasn't that spicy. And then later that week I made pasta sauce, well, jar sauce, and seasoned it and seasoned the meat, and the pasta sauce was spicier than the chili, and I'm like, what? And I shared the sauce with someone. They were like, this is really spicy. And I'm like, and you know what's ironic is that I made chili and it wasn't spicy. So that to me was just like, what? So I don't know if I think I didn't taste along the way. That's what I think. This is the brush that had this blue on there because this mascara was transferring. And I don't like that it does that. So this, oh, I have a lip pulled out, and that'll be it for this video. We're going to top the City Lips Los Angel Lips with this Pat McGrath gloss, and this is Astral Flash Dance. And so we're just going to put this right on top. This ain't showing up at all. Damn. It's like, what was the point? This is not this. So I'm going to hold up Lila with this palette. Yeah, because let me try and not be as awkward as I am. Is it possible? So this is Lila, excuse me for the glare, and this is Night Flower. And so even though it looks really different, a lot of people have just done really just very purple leaning tones with Lila, which has more reddish tones, I'm trying to get the glares off, than the purple tones. And even looking at Night Flower, the one at the bottom, it looks to have, you know, quite a bit of blues, but they lean purple. So these are not like the same at all. And of course the textures are very different. And so, yeah, so that's not a dupe. I really like this palette. I need to use it more, I say, with everything that I have that I really love. I'm going to hold this up with Teresa's Lethal. I am going to do another look with it because I'm still just trying to do different things than the looks that I've done. But the looks I've done with Teresa's Lethal are very different from each other. I'm super awkward. So Teresa's Lethal is at the bottom, Night Flower is at the top. And so I'm thinking, I don't know. So I'm thinking to mix these. And there are, you know, purples in both, but I'm looking at this dark purple and this top corner shade up here. I'm looking at the blues. This has a shift to it. This has a pinky shift to it, whereas the one I'm wearing on my lid is kind of blue greenish. It's looking very green down here and very turquoisey up here. But even, I don't know, and even like this shade here with this top corner shade, so there appears to be a little bit of overlap. And even this pink, how often am I going to use that? And then we have this pink that's right here. So yes, I think I'm going to mix these two, and the trick is going to be, because Teresa's Lethal is 9 pans and this is 12, like how am I going to mix it where it can be more versatile as a 12 pan? Because I would put Teresa's in here, which would leave me with a 9 pan in the Teresa's Lethal palette. So it's just figuring out like what I want to do, because the looks that I've done with this palette, I just don't gravitate to it. And even this look being a lighter look, oh, you know what? I just saw something else. I'm right here. Nocturnal Nirvana, which we know it ain't the same, because we did a look with Lethal, the random shadows against Nocturnal Nirvana, and it was very different. But I'm looking at this with what I have on. So we see that turquoisey shade, and that's kind of it. And this doesn't show up that dark on me, so that could be that, you know what I'm saying, but it's really not. So these are these two shades, but I promise you the Lethal one, even the one I'm wearing now, is more bold than that. And even though we put this here, it would come out almost the same, and I know that because of the experiment that we did before. So right now I'm second guessing this, but I do just really like having this that palette, because I do enjoy the formula. But doing other looks with the Lethal knocks Pat on her ass. Well, Pat McGrath Labs on her ass, I'll say it that way, as far as the shine, the ease of use. And so I will do another look with this one, because I did say I was going to use these two in the Lethal palette I used yesterday again, and figure out like what I'm going to do if I'm going to move stuff around. But I really do like the one I did yesterday, that palette, the way it is, like on second thought when I was looking at it, and the looks that I did with it. So it'll be most likely mixing Night Flower with Teresa's Lethal, because it's just a lot of purples, a lot of leaning purples. And these two, you know, they kind of blend in because of the metallic aspect. And even this blue adds depth, but then it does kind of just blend into the purple, even though it's blue. It's just, they all kind of just lean purple, except for like these two here. This one just kind of leans into these two. This one, what am I looking at? This one is deeper in person. That's a nice shade, but I can probably do that with something else in my Lethal collection as well as that one. So I'm just thinking of what to do, and I love Lethal's formula. So by no means am I saying I don't like it or that I don't like the look. I just want to have a palette where I will gravitate to it, and I don't gravitate to this one. But look at his look though. So here we go. I find that I really just do that for myself now, because I don't do the flat lays anymore. So I just keep, you know, pictures in the gallery on my phone that I can look back on and remember what I've did and what date and what number look it was. So get the glares off. I find that it is very freeing not doing flat lays. Part of me missed it only because it became a habit, but now that I don't do them, I don't even do the flat lay pictures anymore, because where would I post it? Sometimes I was posting them on Twitter, but then I'm like, my Twitter doesn't get a lot of traction, so I'm like, why keep doing it? So anyway, we're going to go. Let me know what you think of the first look with that palette. Let me know what you think of this look with this palette. I don't like how this turned dusty, but that was my fault. But just like, don't look at my nose. But just looking at the lid shades, this is a pretty look. The lippy, I was disappointed, but I know that the glosses, the Pat glosses, don't really show up on me. As pretty as it is in here, over a bare lip, it looks like this. Over chapstick, it looks like this. And this is over city lips. So it's part of me wants to declutter glosses again, but there are times I use them. But we're going to go. I'm babbling. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know the answer to the question about sauce. Do that. Yeah, because I'm just curious to know, because I know some people just use stuff as is and they don't add a lot of stuff to it. I'll be dumping in seasonings. But yeah, we're going to go. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the crazy troll nation way. thank you, and you will see me soon.